guys, today we're going to start Unit 3, and I don't know why, but this is one of my favorite units. It's also a super important unit because it's a lot of pre-algebra, and this is all in 8th grade, and then especially in 9th grade, your first high school accredited math class, you will be taking algebra. And I don't know, I like algebra. So let's get started. This is just a big overview is all this is. And so there's no assignment attached to this video. This is just so you can see where it's all going. So you're going to have equations, you're going to have tables, you're going to have graphs, and you're going to have word problems. And we're going to have to kind of match them all up and see how they all intertwine. I mean, the idea really is to wrap your brain around the idea that you use algebra in everyday life. I mean, maybe not right now, but as you get older, or there's probably some situations in your life. In fact, one of the examples I use on this, I try to use an example that maybe even right now you might be using this in your life and you don't even know you're doing algebra. So with that said, let's get started. So right here, I'm starting with the word problems, and there's two here. And so the first says that Jacob sells candy bars for $2 each. Now, if you wanted to write, you can write an equation for this, and this might be something that you're doing. Maybe you're doing a fundraiser for band or for athletics or something like that, and you have to sell candy. I remember when my kids had to do that. And so I'm going to go ahead and create an equation. The each, whenever, as you learned from the last unit, is that the each a lot of times is where the x's or the variable, or it's telling you something that's changing. And so I'm going to write an equation for this, and I'm going to say that 2 times however many candy bars that I buy is going to equal y, which is my total. And so no matter depending on how many candy bars I buy, which is x is the number of candy bars. That's going to depend, my y is going to depend on it. And I'll go ahead and call y my total. We'll call it earnings, not cost, because you're selling them, so you're earning. So your total earnings. So let's say I buy 0 candy bars. X would be 0. X would be 0. Well, if X was 0, 2 times 0 is 0. So my total cost, or that really should say earnings, because I'm not buying them, I'm selling them. My Y would be 0. But if I bought one candy bar, that'd be like 2 times 1. So my total earnings would be $2, because 2 times 1 is 2. If I had 2 candy bars, if X was 2, then that'd be 2 times 2, which is 4. And so Y would be 4. And let's say there were 3, that'd be 2 times 3, which is 6. So my Y would be 6. I can graph this. So let's say on the first one, these are ordered pairs. Look at these as ordered pairs. Ordered pair, comma, 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 ordered pair, ordered pair. All right, so I'm going to graph each ordered pair. The first one would be 0, 0. The next one would be y and 2. The next one would be 2 and 4. The next one would be 3 and 6. And I have enough lines here where I could create a straight line, and this one would go on and on and on forever, depending on how many candy bars that I sell. All right, let's do this now. This is one that's going to be more in this form, y equals mx plus b. This one has something extra added to it. So we call it the constant, and it's also what would be referred to as our y-intercept. But before I confuse you with all that information, let's just look at this situation. In this situation, Jacob has a Willy Wonka chocolate factory. And if you want to come and buy his chocolate bars, you can. But you have to come into his Willy Wonka chocolate factory, and to do that costs you $5. And then it's $2 for every chocolate bar after that. So I'm going to go ahead and create an equation, and we're going to talk about the y being his total earnings, what he's going to get from you, or we could say, how about the cost to you if you come into his, so that we can go ahead and stick with the word cost. So your cost to come into Jacob's Willy Wonka factory it could be an equation that looks kind of like this. Okay, so I'm going to show you how this equation works. 2 again is the cost of the candy bar. X is still the number of chocolate bars, and Y is still the total. We're going to call it the total cost this time. So this is my X, this is my Y. If I buy 0 chocolate bars, 2 times 0, I still owe Jacob $5 because I went into his chocolate factory. Even though I didn't buy anything, it still cost me some money. How about if I buy 1 chocolate bar? Then 1 chocolate bar would cost me $7 because I still paid $5 to get in, $2 for a chocolate bar. 2 would be 2 times 2. So now it's costing me $9, and 3 would be 2 times 3. So you can see that I'm substituting in for the X, the number of chocolate bars, and my total cost depends on the number of chocolate bars. So we call this a function where Y depends on X. As X changes, Y changes. So let's graph this one. So this one's kind of weird. Again, these are ordered pairs. You can look at all of your tables as ordered pairs. And the first one would be 0, 5. So look where it starts. It starts not at what we refer to as the origin. This is the origin, but it starts at 5. So this is, so let's just keep going. So at 1, it's going to cost 7. 2, it's going to cost 9. 3, it's going to cost 11. And that kind of goes off the board. So I'm just going to go ahead and create this line. And so you can see they both are what we call linear equations. They create a straight line. That's what linear means. The one starts at the origin, 0, 0, and the other one starts at 5. And so we've created these two equations. One is in slope-intercept form, and you're going to see that on your formula chart. And the other one is more in this constant rate form. We'll talk more about it as we get there, but this is just a big overview. So I hope that you gain something from it, and it'll tie everything together as we work through the different sections of this. Have a great week in this. Again, to me, this is a fun unit. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.